Hey YouTube, Noah here again, and as promised I'm doing a current deck profile on my Cross the End deck. This is just a build that I'm testing until I get other stuff to build the build that I want, which is basically burnouts. So I'm going to get straight into it. My starter for this deck is Red Pulse Dragonic. He's pretty much your generic starter for any Kagero deck. Everyone should know what he does by now, but in case you've been living in a cave for the past decade, it's Counterblast 1, move to the soul, check top 5 cards for a grade 5, add it to a grade 5 even, grade 3, sorry, and shuffle the rest back into the deck.
It's like someone's been living in a cave for
10
years.
Yeah, shut up. So for my grade 3s, I am playing the non-boss monster of the deck, and that's 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord the End. It's great to have him back. The end is kind of back again, and
the end is coming.
The end is coming, guys. It destroyed Japan, and a lot of people fear him. There's nothing to fear really, because if you're smart, you just let them retire your rear guards, then you don't let this restand. But I'm playing 4 copies. I will only be playing 3 when my actual build's done, but until I get the last cards, I'm playing 4.
It's a card you'll probably never actually get to see him play from his hand.
Yes, it's more for discard fodder and stuff. Basically, if you don't know what he does, he has a continuous ability. He gets plus 2k if you have a Dragonic Overlord in the soul, so he's cross ride. And if you have a non-Kagero unit on the rear guard or the vanguard, he loses 2k. And obviously, when his attack hits, you can Counterblast 2, discard a copy of himself from your hand to restand and allowing you to attack again. So I play 4. And then for the boss monster of the deck, the card that is just stupid. It is an abomination of a card, but it's so good, I have to play it. And that is 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord the Cross. Well, the X, as it's called in English. The Cross sounded so much better. So basically what he does is he legions with the end, and it's a 22k legion, not your average 20. His legion skill is when you perform legion, you can search your deck for a copy of your vanguard and add it to your hand. So you either add a Crot X or the end to your hand. So you get the one that you don't, the one that you're missing. And then his other effect is you don't have to be in legion for this effect. A lot of people think you do, but you don't. Is when his attack misses, so basically if they perfect guard this guy's attack or anything, you can Counterblast 1, discard a copy of himself, and retire 2 rear guards on your opponent's side of the field. So either they guard and they lose 2 rear guards, or they don't guard and you restand. It's kind of funny. Especially because they always guard the second attack anyway. On to the grade 2s. I play 4 Para Edition Dragonic Nail Flames. I will only be playing 3 of this card, but until I get other cards, I'm playing 4. I will be playing the Greats as well at some point. So this card's pretty good. Basically, on the turn it's played, it gets the following effect. When something in the same column of this is retired, you can Counterblast 1 and retire something else in the same column. So you could basically attack something in the same column as this, retire it, Counterblast 1 and retire the back row. And because you can potentially retire quite often in this deck, it is pretty useful to have. So that's 4 of that. Next, I'm playing 4 Dragonic Burning Horn Dragons. It's basically the 12k attacker for Dragonic Overlord. As long as you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its name, it's a 12k attacker. That's pretty much all there is to say about that. And for the last grade 2, which is attacking until I get other stuff, I'm running 3 Para Edition Dragon Knight Laham, or however you pronounce his name, probably butchered it. Basically what he does is when you perform Legion, if this card's on your rear guard circle, you can choose something in the same column as it and retire. So, and because you do Legion spam in this deck, you get to retire pretty often with him. That's it for grade 2s. For grade 1s, I play 4 Protection Orb Dragons, the new Perfect Guard. Basically, it's still your Perfect Guard, but it can only guard your Vanguard now, and if you have a copy of it in your drop zone, you can unflip 1 damage, because this deck is Counterblast heavy. It is very useful to be able to unflip. Then I play 2 Lava Flow Dragons for Stride Fodder. It basically, you don't use it for its on-play effect to search your deck for a Dragonic Blade Master, I think it's called, because, you know, that's not in the deck. You use it for the +2 grade 2 stride, because you don't want to discard your other grade 3s, so you'd rather discard this. I've seen people say max out at 4. No. Next, for for the main grade 1, I'm playing 4 dragonic, Dragon Monk Gojo even. I wish it was a dragonic overlord card because overlord's amazing.
Which is pricey.
It would be so much more expensive, and I've got like 12 play sets because I'm a Kagero fan. Basically, what he does is you rest him, discard a card to draw a card. Because you Legion a lot in this deck, this is your ideal first turn ride. It sets up so many plays. You can fix your hand with him, fuel your Legion, well, drops on for Legion, and he's just a generic 7k booster. Every Kagero deck plays 2 to 3 of him, but I'm playing 4 at the minute because I've got space. Next, I play 2 of this. You only ever want to play 2 of this. People who play more are stupid, in my opinion. No offense if you do. Basically, what this card does is during the turn, or when you retire a unit for a card effect, you can put this card into your soul and unflip 2 cards. It's a 7k booster that you can move to the soul to unflip 2, which is pretty good. But you only ever need 2 because it's only when you retire something due to an effect. So basically, they have to not let the cross hit. And half the time they do, I only have 1 to unflip, so it's pointless. Next, I play 2 Clarity Tower Wyvern, the card that most people play at 4. Well, was played at 4. I would play it at 4 myself, but I don't have room. It's just Soul Blast 2, draw a card. That's all there is to say about this card, but in Japan they limited it to 2 for a reason, because it allowed you to stride Legion, next turn ride Legion, play this, drop 2, Legion and back into the deck over and over again. On to the triggers, I'm playing 7 different crit triggers because Kagero has access to multiple different crits. So I just play 7 just for alternate artworks. That's pretty much the only reason why. I was going to play 8, but I like to play this draw lineup. I'm playing 3 Gatling Claws. What he does is you can counterblast 1, move him to the soul, and retire one of your opponent's grade 0s or less on the board. So it gets rid of an annoying grade 0 like annoying starters like Judge Bow. And then I play 2 Steel Dragon Arc Peaks because it's basically Margot move to soul, give 3k to Sank. Because I will be soul blasting a lot when burnouts and stuff get put into the deck, so this card will be very useful for keep soul. And then for heal triggers, I'm playing 4 different heal triggers. You can play any ones you like, obviously, but I'm just playing 4 for alternate artwork. Just don't like this one. I would rather there be another Dragon Dancer or something there. So that's it for the main deck. Next is the Stride deck, which I think is pretty stable. I'm running 3 Divine Dragon Knight Muhammad. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it.
Mahmoud,
whichever his name is, potatoes, tomatoes.
2 different vegetables.
Yes, I know. Basically, I will only be playing 2 of this when the Blizzard Clay Elemental thingamajiggy comes out because it's good. But at the minute, I'm playing 3. Basically, what he does is when he hits, you can retire a rear guard. That's pretty much all he's here for. He's here for your first turn stride. Then I'm playing 1 Atmos because at late game you can stride into him, counterblast, attack, counterblast 1. It's an extra 10k column, so it's potentially up to nearly a 50k column. Wait, no, it'd be a 43k column before triggers. And then I am playing. Well, that's one that I'm missing, but I am playing 4 Flame Emperor Dragon King Root Flare Dragons. Basically, what he does is you can flip a copy of him face up in your G zone. If you have 2 face up G units, you can retire a column. Basically, you select a column and retire it, which is pretty good and handy because you can then trigger off other effects. So this is my Kagero deck so far. It's still in the testing stages and missing stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.